This book is banned in prisons across the United States. Not because it is violent, not because it is explicit, because prison authorities believe that if inmates read it, they would become ungovernable. Utah is the most direct about it. As of 2017, there are exactly 2 books explicitly prohibited in Utah prisons, both written by the same author, Robert Greene. Jay-Z references it in his lyrics. Will Smith has called it required reading. It is studied in graduate business programs and by military strategists. And somewhere in your office, your company, your family, someone has already read it. The question is not whether you agree with the laws in this book. The question is whether you can afford to be the only person in the room who does not know them. By the end of this video, you will know the 5 laws operating silently in every workplace, every negotiation, and every relationship, whether you use them or not. Robert Greene published this in 1998. He spent years studying history's most powerful figures: kings, generals, seducers, con artists, courtiers. He distilled their behavior into 48 patterns. The book describes itself as amoral, not immoral, amoral. That distinction is the whole point. Greene is not telling you to be ruthless. He's telling you that power follows certain patterns, and those patterns operate whether you participate consciously or not. The naive person gets played by laws they do not know exist. The aware person, at minimum, protects themselves. This book has 48 laws. Most summaries give you a list. That is useless. What Page Edge gives you is the 5 operating on you right now, in your career, your relationships, your finances, and exactly what to do with each one. Cheat code number 1. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Nicolas Fouquet was the finance minister of France under Louis XIV. Brilliant, charming, enormously wealthy, and fatally unaware of Law 1. In 1661, trying to win back the king's favor, Fouquet threw the most spectacular party France had ever seen. 6,000 guests. His chateau more magnificent than Versailles itself. Louis XIV smiled through the entire evening. 3 weeks later, he had Fouquet arrested, imprisoned for life. The crime was not the money. The crime was making the king feel small. Making those above you feel inferior is the fastest path to being destroyed by them, regardless of your talent. The mechanism. People in positions of power carry deep, often unconscious insecurity about being surpassed. When you outshine them, even accidentally, they interpret it as a threat, not a compliment. Their response is elimination. This plays out in every office on earth. The employee who publicly corrects their manager, the consultant who makes the client feel stupid, the new hire who solves in a week what the team couldn't in a year and announces it loudly. Application. Before your next presentation or meeting, ask, does this make the most powerful person in the room look good or look like they missed something? That single filter protects your career more than any skill upgrade. Cheat code number 2. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. This law sounds cynical. Most people reject it on moral grounds. Those people get betrayed most often. Greene's logic is precise. Friends already have your loyalty for free. They don't need to earn it. Over time, that breeds entitlement, carelessness, and resentment when you expect performance and they expect exemption. A former enemy brought into your corner has something to prove. They know your trust was not automatic. They work harder to keep it. The most reliable allies in history have consistently been converted rivals, not lifelong friends. Greene is not telling you to distrust friends. He is telling you to stop assuming friendship is a proxy for reliability. Evaluate people on performance and incentive, not on warmth. Application. Look at your 3 closest professional relationships. For each one, ask honestly, Does this person perform because they respect me or because friendship has made accountability optional? That answer shows you exactly where your vulnerabilities are. Cheat code number 3. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. This is the law that separates experienced negotiators from everyone else. Greene's observation: the more you say, the more common you appear. The more you reveal, the more ammunition you give to people listening, not to understand, but to find the gap. Power has always spoken in short sentences. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. 9 words that defined a war. Just do it. 3 words that built a global brand. The mechanism is psychological. When someone says less than expected, your brain fills the silence. You project depth, certainty, authority, whether those things exist or not. Every word beyond what is necessary reduces perceived power. Every unnecessary explanation is an apology in disguise. This is the law most violated in the age of social media. The compulsive need to explain, justify, and clarify publicly is a daily power leak. Application: in your next significant conversation, salary negotiation, deal discussion, confrontation, make your point in 1 sentence. Then stop. Do not fill the silence. The discomfort you feel in that pause is exactly where your leverage lives. Cheat code number 4. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect. Greene states this with brutal simplicity. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more available you are, the more predictable, the more present, the more responsive, the less valuable you appear. Not because you are less talented, because scarcity creates perceived value and abundance destroys it. This is basic economics applied to human attention. A 2022 Stanford Graduate School of Business study found that professionals who reduced their response frequency were rated more competent and more senior by colleagues, with identical work output. You are not building relationships by being constantly available. You are training people to value your presence less. Queen Elizabeth II kept the most powerful men in England pursuing her for decades by never fully committing, never being fully available, always maintaining mystery. The pursuit gave them the feeling they might win. Winning would have ended the game. Application: identify one context where you are chronically over-available. Introduce one deliberate delay this week. 48 hours minimum for non-urgent responses. Notice how people recalibrate their perception of your time. One final principle. This one is not numbered, but Greene calls it the foundation of everything else. Cheat code number 5. The master law. Emotion is the enemy of power. This is not one of the 48 laws. It is in the preface. Almost every reader skips it to get to the numbered list. An emotional response to a situation is the single greatest barrier to power. Not lack of strategy, not insufficient resources, not bad luck. Emotion. The inability to stay calm when someone provokes, insults, threatens, or ignores you. Greene is direct. Anger is the most destructive emotional response. It clouds vision, escalates situations, and reveals exactly what you value, handing your opponent a map to hurt you. Every powerful figure who fell in this book did so because someone found their emotional trigger and kept pressing it until they reacted publicly. A 2023 Harvard study on executive decision-making found that leaders scoring highest on emotional regulation made decisions 34% more accurate under pressure, regardless of IQ or experience. In every high-stakes situation, the calmest person in the room holds the most power. Not the loudest, the calmest. Application. Identify the one person or situation that reliably provokes an emotional reaction in you. That is your power leak. Write down what they do that provokes you and what a calm, strategic response looks like. Preparation before provocation is the only reliable defense. The truth. What this book gets wrong here is the honest version. The 48 Laws of Power is one of the most useful books ever written for understanding human behavior in competitive environments. The historical research is genuine. The pattern recognition is real. But it has one serious flaw that has damaged more careers than it has helped. It presents all 48 laws as equally applicable in all contexts at all times. They are not. Law 15, crush your enemy totally, may have been sound in a Renaissance Italian court. Applied to a workplace dispute with a colleague, you will see every Monday for 10 years, it is a catastrophic overreach that creates permanent enemies and brands you as dangerous. These laws are descriptive first, prescriptive second. They describe how power has operated throughout history. Whether you should apply each one depends entirely on context, stakes, and the relationship. The fix. Read this book as a field guide to recognizing power dynamics, not as a playbook to execute blindly. The most successful readers use it defensively to see what is being done to them, far more than offensively. One action. Tonight. Think of the single most important professional relationship in your life right now. Write down 3 answers. 1. Do they currently feel superior, equal, or threatened by me? 2. Am I over available to them, appropriately scarce, or invisible? 3. What is the one thing they do that reliably makes me react emotionally? Those 3 answers tell you exactly where your power position is in that relationship and what to adjust first. You do not need all 48 laws. You need the 3 already operating in your most important relationship. Start there tonight. Law 1, Law 16, and the preface of this book are worth reading in full, slowly, with your own situation in mind. They will permanently change how you read every room you walk into. The link to the 48 Laws of Power is in the description. Audible link is there too. Subscribe to Page Edge for one book broken down like this every week. The real ideas, the honest critique, and the one action that changes something. One cheat code every week. See you next time.